Welcome back to JB Reviews. I've done a few videos this year on the 3/4 ton Chevy HDs, and I've noticed that they lowered the payload. And I'm not sure why they did that, so I want to do a video discussing this. So if you're looking at potentially buying a truck to tow a trailer, this video should be helpful for you, and it just kind of starts a dialogue or something because I don't really understand why they did what they did. But let's go ahead and jump into the video. I am here at Seiner Chevrolet. If you would like to purchase a truck, these guys have great deals going on right now. Be sure to reach out to Larry, the sales manager. You can text him and he can give you a price on whatever you're looking for. Let's get started. Now in the past, and I'm talking 2019 and earlier trucks, if you were to get a 3/4 ton with a diesel, it would have a 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. Today, 2020 and newer, these trucks now have higher GVWR. So starting in 2020, they went from the 10,000 all the way up to 11,350. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Over here, we have this beautiful AEV Bison Silverado. This only comes in a 3/4 ton truck. Now, when you get this package, this truck is pretty heavy. One recommendation I would give you is this: if you're looking to get this truck and you're planning on building it from the factory, you can get a camper package with this, which will upgrade the front axle. And if you do plan on adding the worn winch to the front end, you have a little bit more overbuilt front end. By adding all this extra weight, you don't lose the capacity on that axle. So I think that would be a good idea because that winch is probably going to add 150 pounds plus. So it may not be a bad idea to add that camper package. It's only like $160 anyways, and it does make this truck a little bit more capable. So you guys see here, as I said earlier, back in 2020, and for newer trucks, the gross vehicle rating went from 10,000 to 11,350. Now, with that being said, that basically added 1,350 pounds of payload. So let's do some quick math really quickly. This truck weighs 8,689 pounds on the curb. So if you take 10,000 and subtract that number, 8,689 pounds, that gives you 1,311 pounds. So if this truck still had the 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating, that would be the payload for this truck. And the reason why they did that is because these trucks got heavy. Now obviously, this being the AV Bison truck, these bumpers front and rear, larger tires, and skid plates down below make this truck super heavy. So this truck is probably 500 pounds heavier than a regular Silverado truck is. Maybe like 300 or 400 pounds, I would say, heavier, in that ballpark. So if you're looking to tow a fifth wheel, things like that, obviously you're not looking to buy this truck. But you guys saw the payload. Payload is still decent for what I've seen on 3/4 tons. Like Ram, for example, they still stick by that 10,000 pound GVWR, so they have less than 2,000 pounds of payload when you're looking at a similar truck like this. But let's go ahead and walk over to the next truck. This is going to be a 3/4 ton. It's going to be a Trax Boss. Let's go ahead and see what the GVWR is. So real quickly, 2,500. You guys see down here, the GVWR is 11,300 pounds. Now, I don't know why they did that. This is a LTZ. It has the power deployable running boards. It comes standard with leather seats. It also has spray-in with fifth wheel prep package. And it has 3,009 pounds. Now obviously, if it had the 50 number here, the 11,350, excuse me, this would be 50 pounds higher, so it would be 3,059 pounds. Now I'm pretty sure some guys are like, that's not a big deal, what are you talking about, this is stupid. But hear me out. You'd be shocked at what you can do with these trucks. Like for example, if you're looking to buy a truck like this and you're not happy with the 36-gallon fuel tank and you're planning on towing a fifth wheel trailer, trust me when I say this, sometimes 50 pounds can make or break you. As your kids get older, as you carry animals with you, all these things are going to take effect on the number on the door. So adding passengers, things like that. And for some people, they want to be under the gross vehicle weight rating, and that's what the manufacturer requires you to do. So why not just stick to what they say? Now on that AEV Bison package truck, they kept the 50 pounds on there because obviously that truck is a lot heavier, and taking that 50 pounds off means you're going to lower that payload capacity. So here's what we're going to do next. I'm going to pull this truck out for a second, because this is something that you can look at if you are looking to tow a fifth wheel. You don't necessarily want to go to a 1-ton truck, because maybe in the state you live in, having a higher GVWR restricts what you can tow. This truck might be the answer to what you need. Now, if you would like for me to do a video on this truck separately, let me know in the comment section. This is like the perfect LTZ truck. It's $82,600, and it has that Gideon interior. Has the sunroof. This is a really nice spec. This interior color with white is absolutely perfect. But yeah, let's go ahead and pull this truck out. Now, I don't think I mentioned it yet too, and I want to make this point. So when this truck got a higher GVWR, the reason why they did that is because in 2020, when they did a complete redesign of this truck,
this vehicle is in
they got a lot heavier. So not only did the cabs grow and the bed got bigger, the framing on this truck got more beefed up, so it got a lot heavier. Therefore, GM did the right thing by raising that number, which is the GVWR, 1,350 pounds, to offset this extra heavy pickup truck. And that's kind of why this truck has so much payload. Now, if it had a 10,000 pound GVWR, this truck would probably have 1,600 pounds. Actually, I could tell you exactly what it would have. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek. So this truck on the curb weighs 8,262 pounds. If it had a 10,000 pound GVWR, that's what the payload would be on this one. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers here. I don't know if you guys noticed the gross axle weight rating in the rear for the other trucks. It was 6,600 pounds. This one has 7,250 pounds. Also, the gross vehicle weight rating is 11,750, so it was 11,300, 11,350 on another, and this one's 11,750. Now the reason why that is because this truck does have the max trailering package for $995. So basically this gives you the 1-ton frame, leaf pack, 12-inch ring gear, and shock package. All that for $995. So therefore, when you raise that gross vehicle weight rating from 11,300 pounds to 11,750, you're going to pick up more payload. So this truck has 3,488 pounds of payload. And that is pretty much why I think they probably lowered it for just the regular HD trucks. Like, that's a 3,500, but yeah, for the 2,500s that are non-ZR2s, that's probably why they decided to raise or lower the number, excuse me, not raise it. They lowered the number to 11,300 because you still have an option to get a higher gross vehicle weight rating, which gives you more payload. That way, with a truck like this, you can still tow, you know, a decent size fifth wheel trailer. But if you have the answer to why they lowered it to 11,300 for 2025, because years past it's always been 11,350. I would like to know your thoughts if you know the answer to it. And if you are like someone who does hotshot, if you obviously own a business and you don't want a higher GVWR, you want to stay at that 10,000 pound, you still have the option to buy a 3/4 ton GM truck and get the 10,000 pound GVWR, which is basically derating the truck. That's basically what it's called. That way you don't have to worry about staying or going over that 26,000 pound, because obviously if you have a trailer that has a 16,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating, that's 26,000 pounds, which means if you go over that number with this higher gross vehicle weight rating, that means you have to, you know, do a lot of things that you don't want to do for your business. So I understand why some guys rather just order the truck with a 10K gross vehicle weight rating. But I hope you guys liked the video. I know there's a lot of numbers going on, I know there's a lot of information, but I figured it'd be good to kind of show you guys that. That way, if, you know, hey, if that 50 pounds is a deal breaker for you, if you already own a trailer, if you already know what your payload is on your truck and you already know how much, your trailer's pin weight is, and you know how heavy your family is, this might be something good to look at just in case you are trying to stay under that gross vehicle weight rating, which you should, because that could affect your warranty if they can find out that you're obviously towing over that. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Make sure your bell notifications are on. See you guys soon. Since you stayed to the end, I want to show you the max trailering package specifically for what you have to get. Now this package is $9.95, but if you get it, you have to get the fifth wheel prep package with the spray, and it basically comes together. You guys saw the GVWR in the truck. If you get a long bed truck, that number will be 150 pounds higher, okay? Lastly, if you complain about not having 10,000 pound GVWR, as I said in the video, you still have the option to do that. So if you don't want the 11,300, 11,350, 11,750, you have the option, and there's no extra cost with this. So there you have it.